We are a statewide organization and we support kids. So we have 3 children's homes, one in Ruston, one in Laranger, one in Sulphur. We also do Methodist foster care statewide across the state, and there what we do is we do the therapeutic foster care. So the children that we serve have all suffered from trauma, and they all have corresponding behavioral traits. And so we take these kids in the hopes that they heal and can have a chance at a normal life, right? So that's what we do. We also have life skills. We teach kids, when a kid gets 18 years old, they're going into the world. It's good for them to have skills like knowing how to balance a checkbook, wash clothes, cook, that sort of thing. We also do that as well. And our Outdoor Wilderness Learning Center, it's in Duboc, Louisiana. That's where we do our equine therapy for these kids because it's really effective and it really works great. It's also a place where the kids can be a kid. There's fishing, there's boating, there's all kinds of things that they get to do. And the salsa and jelly cells that we do today go to help support our equine therapy for the kids.
I'm really trying to establish a carnivorous plant culture. I'd gotten into carnivorous plants several years back and realized there's nowhere to find these things. People aren't familiar with them because they don't see them. So I'm kind of trying to spread my joy and enthusiasm for growing these plants. Well, they do actually eat bugs, and more of it is just the joy of growing and watching them do their little life cycle. I'm getting good reaction. I've found out that the carnivorous plants do about probably 80% of my total sales at this point. So it's definitely something that people are getting to know and want. They haven't seen them because there's nowhere you can go see carnivorous plants. So that's kind of my journey right now, is to establish that carnivorous culture. I've always liked plants, and somebody had given me one at one point in time, and I almost killed it, and then I finally realized I could grow it, and it just started from there. It's like planting a seed. I do a lot of different shows for Master Gardeners, and they're always very helpful, and they're really willing to learn and help other people learn. So it's a real good way to get a group of people together that all have the same interest.
We specialize in tropicals, houseplants, philodendrons, monsteras, ferns, roses, fruit trees, citrus trees, you name it, we probably have it. If we don't have it, it might be because we don't like it, but it might be because it may not do well in this area. We want to be honest with our customers about what will and won't survive for all of our climate. This is the first time they're having outside vendors to this show, so it's an opportunity for us to walk into a new show that still has an established base. So being able to walk in and sell to the public and allow the Master Gardeners to get their name and awareness larger in the community and bring in from other areas is really nice. Normally, the Master Gardeners do plant shows in other parishes. So St. Tammany is another large Master Gardener plant show in our area. The Master Gardeners of Greater New Orleans also puts on a plant show, as well as Baton Rouge at LSU's campus. Primarily, that's how we work with our Master Gardeners. We do invite Master Gardener groups to come to our facility, our greenhouses, and do a field trip day of shopping and lectures and speeches about very specific keynote things that they're hunting for information. We'd just like to have the Master Gardeners be an additional outreach program for the general public and consumers to learn about plants that are specialized in our area by growers such as myself, but also to promote native plants in the region. The most common question is, how do I take care of my plants? How often do I water? How much light do things need? And that is really a one-on-one basis. Every plant requires different things. Some plants can be completely covered and saturated in water, which is great for Southeast Louisiana, while some plants have to go through a dry spell in order to increase bloom power. When we're working with customers, we always want to know the name of the plant, but if they don't, traditionally we can figure it out or figure out the class of the plants. Identification of our plants and being able to take care of them is the best step forward.
So it is a great turnout. I think we had 16 vendors that started, and for our first plant sale, that's pretty good. They are loving it. Not anything like this in our parish. And when we go out, the proceeds that we make from this today will go to some of our beautification projects that we have for the parish. One of them, we've already helped the town of Livingston on Bloss Street. We've done that with them. Then we're going to do a wildflower project probably toward the end of the year, and that's where our goal is to get all the historical markers and some high traffic places in each town to plant wildflowers and pollinators and to make the public aware. And hopefully when everyone sees that how beautiful it is, it'll catch on and they'll go home and plant them in their yards, and it'll be a continuous thing. And so the money will go to that, and then we do all the schools. We go in and fund projects for schools. We do grants to schools. We do grants for 4-H camp for kids. So we have a lot of things going on, and it's all volunteer. We all volunteer our time to do this, and it's just a lot of fun. Well, you have to have a love of gardening. You have to have a love of community, and you have to have a love of fellowship and volunteer. You got to have a happy heart, because it's, sometimes it can be a lot of work, but when you do that with a happy heart, you're good to go. You get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Yes. So you take the class, and after your class, you have to do 40 hours volunteer work. And after you do your volunteer work, you get certified. And then every year after that, I think it's 20 hours volunteer work and some continuing education. But most in our group do way over 20 hours of volunteer work. But it's a wonderful thing, and especially for your community to get involved and to make sure, that you have some beautification and some educational things. And, it's good.